Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. And today we are going to do a mock draft for the Fantasy Football Players Championship. This is a big tournament I participate in. It's a 12-team league. I'm at the fourth draft position. We're going to see what kind of team we can get. We're going to utilize that top 50 Dominator strategy I've been using. So check it out. Here we go.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick podcast. And hey, we are right in the middle of fantasy draft season, having a great time. I'm enjoying doing all these mocks. And of course, I've got all my drafts coming up starting this weekend. Now, obviously, there's been some big stuff that has happened, like, oh my gosh, man, Leonard Fournette getting released. That's crazy. And what I want to talk about today, man, is the threat of players potentially holding out. And, this happens all the time. Last year, Melvin Gordon was a holdout. The year before, it was Le'Veon Bell. And when it comes to these contract year players, I got to say, I love contract year players. They are amongst my favorites to draft. I like to draft as many of them as I can. But when it comes to players that are actually on their contract year in the elite levels of the draft, which for me is the first two rounds, the risk of a holdout is extremely high. And over the past couple of weeks, we've heard rumblings and seen rumors that we have had 3 contract year players holding out. You've got Joe Mixon, you've got Dalvin Cook, and you've got Alvin Kamara. Now, apparently Dalvin Cook is back back working out. He's participating in training camp. But he has been grumbling about the fact that they have not given him an extension, and he broke off negotiations with them. That's not a good sign. Joe Mixon actually was missing camp for a few days, and he just got a big payout, so he's all set. He got his extension. Alvin Kamara does concern me. He has missed the past 3 days of practice, and I'm really, really hoping that he gets this contract thing resolved before I have my drafts, including this draft where I'm picking 4th in a 12-team league, and he would be my choice in a normal situation. But if that contract situation still hasn't been resolved by the time the draft happens, I might just end up bypassing him. And I'm super concerned about Dalvin Cook because one of the parts of the COVID agreement that the Players Union has with the league is that if a player comes in and they play one game, they will not be forced to play the rest of the season, and their contract will automatically advance to the next season. So for a contract year player by Dalvin Cook, that means he would become a free agent. And the risk, and I'm just so concerned about it, is that that's what Dalvin Cook is planning to do. That he is going to go in, he's going to play game 1, and then he is not going to play again until he gets an extension, or he's just going to hold out until he can get his free agency. So I wouldn't be taking Dalvin Cook. Normally, I'm not going to be taking Dalvin Cook anyway because I have too many concerns about his durability. But I think it's very good for Alexander Mattison. He is, I've been targeting him in a lot of drafts. I think he's a really good choice. And like I said, Alvin Kamara, man, get that contract extension done so I can take you because I really want to take him. I think he's going to be really, really good this year. But this is just, again, it's just very risky. So anyway, we're going to do a draft simulator for my Fantasy Football Players Championship on Fantasy Pros. And the reason we got to do a draft simulator is because the draft, the way Fantasy Football Players Championship is it's a PPR league, but tight ends get 1.5 points per reception. And so you can't really simulate that in a live draft because that does make the tight ends go earlier. Also, there's 2 flex spots instead of 1, so there's some nice flexibility in your roster build. And the other big thing is that the way the season works is it's an 11-week regular season. Then weeks 12 and 13 is the championships. So the 13th is the championship weekend. And this year, Tampa Bay and Carolina both have week 13 bye weeks. So can you really afford to have a player from one of those teams as a starter knowing that they are not going to be playing on your championship weekend. And then what happens is after week 13, if you qualify, you go to the big money tournament. It's just like a race to the end, score as many points as you can in weeks 14 through 16. So that's basically how it works. And that's how you win the big money. But still, in this particular league, $1,500 is on the line for the championship if you win it. So, that's a big deal. So anyway, we're going to do a mock draft here from the fourth draft position. And let's see what kind of what kind of team we can build. And we're going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players. So this is my app. It's at my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. I invite you to go there. This is a quick and easy setup. So all you got to do is answer, first of all, how does your league score points? And we're going to go PPR with tight end 1.5 points per reception. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? I'm just going to say no because I want to see all the players on the board. And then do you want to enter draft mode? So yes, we just got to put in 12 team. Pick number 4. We'll go ahead and enter draft mode. You can see the player list right here. Position filters right here. And what's going to pop in is these additional tabs which represent each round of the drafts. We just have to click on the first one. And I'm just going to minimize the recommendations list. And you can see it's recommending Alvin Kamara. Of course, that's who you would take. But it's also recommending Nick Chubb. It's recommending Chris Godwin for our first round pick. And what you see down below is all the players basically between our first pick and our second pick with a little bit of overlap. These little guns mean long shots, which just means less than a 50-50 shot of making it to us. So it's obviously McCaffrey, Barkley, and Elliott who have less than a 50-50 shot of making it to my pick at pick number 4. The little hands are reaches, and what the reaches mean is that next round, those players will be long shots. So if you want to take them early, this is telling you should take them early. And the players are sorted, instead of being sorted by their draft position or something like that, it's sorted by what I call the VORC score, which stands for value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. It's these 4 columns over here, and based on how they score on each of these 4 critical stats, they get points. Those points are added up. That's the VORC score. And what I'd like to say is focus on players who score over 40 points on their VORC score. Those are the best players to get for fantasy. So we are in the mock draft simulator right now. The first 3 picks have happened, and they are as you would expect them to be. Let's go ahead and take Alvin Kamara. And like I said, I will only take him if the contract issue is resolved. If the contract issue is not resolved, I'm going to stay away. So we'll just let it come around. And then we're going to go to the roster. We're just going to go to the roster to see who's still available. And on my app, obviously you got this big gap of time, right? So what I would be doing during the interim as other people are making their selections is I come back to my app. I click on round 2 after I've taken my first round pick. And you can see that it's recommending Kenny Golladay, Nick Chubb, Zach Ertz. Now remember, Nick Chubb was a reach on the first round, but he is a great choice in the second round. He's got a great VORC score, 72 VORC points. The maximum VORC score is 100 points, but hardly anybody gets 100. But anyway, Nick Chubb is a great choice, and I saw that he did make it to our second round pick. Well, I'm just going to close that. Hold on. So you can see him. He's right here at the top of the running back list. So I love that. Let's go ahead and take Nick Chubb as our second running back. That's an outstanding choice. And then it's a short turnaround. And hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves one more really good running back. So if we look at the third round running backs, you can see, just the third round players, it's recommending Robert Woods, it's recommending Chris Carson and Calvin Ridley. Now, besides Chris Carson, who hopefully will make it to us because I would love to have him as my third. We also have players like Jonathan Taylor, Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, Melvin Gordon. None of these guys score great. We're at pick 28. They don't offer good value. Like Taylor in PPR, not as great as I would hoped he would be. His value rank is 66. That makes him a poor choice at this point in the draft. But the reason why he's appearing on the list here is because if we wait till our 4th pick, he's probably going to be gone. Now, let's go back and we can see, oh no, Chris Carson did get taken. But look at this. Todd Gurley is still on the board. Now, Todd Gurley should have already been gone by now. You can see him down here under the remove players. We can restore him and see how he scores on the board. And you can see Gurley scores very well. 41 VORC points. That's the threshold I like to see him at. And so, his value, he's a little bit overvalued by about a round, a little more than a round. That's all right. But to get him as our flex running back, I think that's outstanding. You can see that we also have some other players, some wide receivers. I typically have been going running back, and then filling out the rest of my team. Only if someone was like of extreme value that, I'm like, I can't believe they made it to the third round. Would I really even consider it at this point? Just because the wide receivers are such a deep position. So let's go ahead. Let's take Gurley, man. I love Gurley, and we'll go ahead and select him. Now, the one rule I'm going to make for myself, because one thing I've noticed on the simulator is even though the tight ends get 1.5 points per reception, it doesn't quite as aggressively take the tight ends as they do in a live FFPC draft. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to limit myself that I'm going to take tight ends as they appear on my app, not as they appear on the actual draft board. Okay, so that's going to give us options. Like for the third round, like if I wanted to take Ertz or Andrews, this is when I would have to take him, right? In the fourth round, you got someone like Darren Waller, who actually scores very, very good for a fourth-round pick tight end, because of the 1.5 points per reception, man. He's the 32nd most valuable player in the league this year. And to get him at pick number 45, which is our fourth-round pick, is a great option. Now, we really do need to look at wide receivers this round because, again, after the fourth round, it really thins out at receiver, but there are some good options. You got Cortland Sutton, who I think offers the best value here. You've got Metcalf, Keenan Allen, all good choices, all top 50 value, which is what I like to see. Let's see if there's any other wide receivers on the board that we should consider. And it looks like there is a few. So look at this. We got Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, DJ Chark, Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, a whole bunch. There is a bunch here. Now, Cooper Kupp, that's actually kind of surprising that he is there. Let's see here. There's Cooper Kupp. Let's restore him. Cooper Kupp scores well, 61 VORK points, and the value is outstanding. 20th overall. He's a great player. The biggest issue with Cooper Kupp is consistency. 3 out of 10 on consistency means he's going to be hard to trust on a week-to-week basis. He's going to be a player that disappears on certain games, and so that's a risk with someone like him. Let's look at someone like A.J. Brown or DJ Chark. So I think they're all – so McLaurin's right there. See, McLaurin's at 39 points, so he's like borderline good. DJ Chark is here at 31. That's really very low. He does offer top 50 value. Jacksonville really, really strikes me as a risky team this year with these latest moves that they're doing. A.J. Brown down here at 22 VORK points. He scores good on value, but not good on consistency, and his outlook isn't good because it's a low-volume pass offense. I mean, I don't even think he's projected to get 100 targets, although he probably will. He'll probably get right around 100 to 105 targets, but that's very, very low. You're betting on massive efficiency like what he had last year, and again, that's why he just doesn't score real well here. And like I said, Chark and Brown and Kupp are all long shots to make it to us here. But let's go with the value, right? Let's take Kupp because Kupp is a wide receiver 1. It's just he's going to be really uneven. But you got to take what you can get. You got to take what the league gives you, and if we look at the running backs in the fourth round, there's not a ton that offer top 50 value. There's David Johnson is the only one that offers top 50 value. Le'Veon Bell and Melvin Gordon are both outside the top 50, although very close. And you can see, I think David Johnson's already gone, but Melvin Gordon is still there, and Bell's gone too. But Melvin Gordon, if you wanted to wait to the fourth round, if you could get either DJ or Melvin Gordon, they do offer top 50 value. I think that's a good choice in the fourth round if you wanted to risk it. But just because it's so thin at running back at this point, I really like to have my top 3 running backs already set. Let's go ahead. We'll take Kupp. I think Kupp is an outstanding wide receiver 1 for our team. I really like that pick. And, again, we are bypassing Waller right now. So let's go to the 5th round. And the 5th round, we definitely want to look at wide receivers again. And so you can see here, Cortland Sutton and DK Metcalf are both long shots to make it to us in the 5th round. But if either of them made it, I would love either of them, especially Sutton, whose value sits just outside. I think I have him as the wide receiver 13 or 14 this year. So very, very good. And when we're talking pick 52, value rank 33, outstanding value there. You're getting great value. Below them, you got Jarvis Landry, who is also really good. Now, He is normally someone that I would target in the 6th, but if we look at our 6th round pick, we got pick 69, and Jarvis Landry typically goes at pick 62. Yeah, he's never going to make it back to us. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility that it could happen. I wouldn't count on it. You can't really count on it in being that we're picking early. Jarvis would be a better 6th round pick if we were picking late, if we had like 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th pick. You also have Michael Gallup, who is a reach here, and Gallup would be a nice choice for the 6th round because his value rank is just outside the top 50, so he's very good. Let's see who ended up on this round. Oh, looks like Sutton just came off the board. That's too bad. DK Metcalf is still there, as is McLaurin and Lockett. Lockett I do not like as much as Metcalf. Let's just filter. We are already filtered. So where is Lockett on this list? Where is he? Because he's farther down. Lockett's still down. We got to restore him. See, Lockett doesn't score that well, and his consistency is terrible. 2 out of 10. He was really awful last year. Really, it was like a tale of two seasons. The first half of the season, he was amazing. But once DK Metcalf came on in the second half of the season, he disappeared. And so I don't like him. And although he's decent value here and he's scoring okay, he's not over the 40 threshold, so I wouldn't consider him. McLaurin, who else? Is it Terry McLaurin? Yeah, McLaurin is also there. Let's see here. Let's restore McLaurin. Where does he score? He scores over 40. He's pretty good. Top 50 value. That's good. 8 out of 10 consistency. That's a pretty good option. But DK Metcalf is up here with 74 VORC points versus 46 from McLaurin. And I love Metcalf this year, man. I am so excited to see what he can do. Even though I have him valued as a mid-round 2, mid-lower end 2, I think his upside is 1. I think he can do it, and Russell Wilson has never had a receiver like DK Metcalf. So I really like the upside there. So let's go ahead and we'll take that since Sutton is gone. And let's see here. Now look at this. Check this out. Okay, Jarvis Landry did make it to us. He was listed as being a long shot. Actually, he wasn't even listed as being a long shot for this round because he wasn't expected to make it. But I got to say, man, look at his value. 38th overall. We're getting him in the 6th round. That is 3 outstanding receivers that we have on our team now to go with our 3 outstanding running backs. I am super happy with this team so far. So let's go ahead and we'll take Landry. And what a great start. I mean, this is really optimal for what I would love to have happen in draft time. Now, we're at the 7th round, and what I like to say is in the 7th round, you should take the best quarterback available as long as it's Matt Ryan or better, or you take your tight end. Now, if we look at tight end, 7th round tight ends, who do we have available? So Hayden Hurst is the guy we would select. Now, look, it is a little bit risky that he would make it to us because he's listed as a long shot here. Of course, he's still going to be available on the draft board because on the draft board they've only taken a couple of tight ends. He's still there, so we could take Hayden Hurst, but I'm looking at the draft board here as far as quarterbacks go, and we got way better than Matt Ryan, who's still. There's only been 2 quarterbacks taken. Look at this. We got Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson. Now, who do we have for our receivers again? Well, we've got Cooper Kupp and DK Metcalf. I want to stack Metcalf with Russell Wilson. That is a great stack. And to get him here in the 7th round is just amazing. So I'm going to take the value here. And every draft's a little bit different. I wouldn't expect Russell Wilson to make it this far in most drafts, but I have seen it. Like last year, I did one of these FFPC drafts, and it was like, the 3 elite quarterbacks came off relatively when you would expect it to, and then no other quarterbacks came off until like the 12th round. It was crazy how late people waited to start taking their quarterbacks. But let's take the advantage of the situation. I want Russell Wilson. I want the upside, and I want the stack with DK Metcalf. So that would be a dream. If this actually happens in an actual draft, I'm going to be like beyond thrilled. So let's go to the 8th round. Now, what should we do in the 8th round? Well, if we look at tight ends, Not a lot of great tight ends. No one really scores super well. Austin Hooper, decent value, but a terrible outlook. Doesn't score 44 points. No one scores 40. So I think I'm going to stay away from tight ends. What I really think I'm going to target is Blake Jarwin in like the 11th round. I think he's going to be the best choice for us to take for our tight end. And then, of course, I'll grab at least one more tight end. But let's look at the wide receivers. So wide receivers this round, we got some good options. Sterling Shepard, John Brown, Preston Williams as a reach. They all score 44 points. Preston Williams I love, but I would be inclined to wait until the 9th round and see if he's available. Sterling Shepard I think is a rock-solid choice. I really like his upside this year. Let's look at the running backs. No running backs that score over really it's only Jordan Howard. He scores 0. He's a terrible option for PPR. Not good value, terrible outlook. I'm really not interested at all in really any Miami players outside of Preston Williams. He's really like the only guy I'm interested in. So I think we go wide receiver. I think we go and get ourselves another wide receiver. So you can see there's Sterling Shepard, and Preston Williams is down there. So again, it's a good chance that Preston Williams would make it back to us on the next round. And if we did that, then we would be totally set with if we went wide receiver, that would really just set us up. I don't think we need to take any more wide receivers, and we just focus on running backs and then get our tight end when it's time to take the tight end. We've got some other running backs here. Matt Breida, Duke Johnson, Darrell Henderson, Adrian Peterson, Raquel Armistead, who gets a little bit of a boost here, but I'm not really interested in anyone in the Jacksonville backfield right now. It just seems like a black hole. So let's take our wide receivers. Let's get ourselves done up right with wide receivers. So Sterling Shepard, we'll go ahead and take him. I really like this guy. The thing I like the most is his consistency last year with Daniel Jones. Excellent consistency. He played 10 games last year, and obviously his reliability is the biggest concern. But he played 10 games last year. 6 of them had 10 or more targets. That is outstanding. So let's go ahead and we'll take the upside of Sterling Shepard. And it'll be a short turnaround here. Let's look at the 9th round. So the 9th round, we've got some options for running backs. Phillip Lindsay is a good choice. Breida's probably gone. Antonio Gibson probably, we'll see who of them are available. Zach Moss, that's a good choice too. Although he doesn't offer very good value in PPR. You need guys that are going to catch balls here. J.K. Dobbins, we could take a chance. We could take a chance that he's going to get a bigger role in this offense. They've been talking him up, and it is 31-year-old Mark Ingram in that backfield ahead of him. What could happen there? Let's see what's going on. Let's see who's available. So let's see here. Oh, I don't even see him on the board anymore. I think he's already gone. Oh, that's too bad. So we don't need to worry about that. Preston Williams did make it to us, so that was very good. We've got Darrell Henderson might be worth something here. Is he? He's not even on my board yet. Gibson, Moss, they're all gone too, aren't they? Jeez, man, they went really heavy on running backs. Okay, let's stick with the plan now. Basically, when are we going to be taking our tight end? Blake Jarwin is so he is here in the 9th, but he's a reach. So we'll take him in the 10th, assuming he would make it to us in the 10th round. No one else scores over 40 VORC points, but Jarwin scores very well. Value rank is 75th because of the reception, because of the 1.5 points per reception. So he's a really good late round choice. Let's look at wide receivers. Preston Williams is at the top of the list right now, 44 points for him. Running backs, Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay is already gone. So let's go ahead. We'll take Preston. We'll take Preston Williams. I love that. I love our wide receivers, man. This is a great set of wide receivers. I'm super happy with who we ended up with here. What we'll do here in the next round is we'll take our tight end. So We've got, so you can see, let's see, there's just a ton of tight ends available. These tight ends will all be gone at this point in the draft. It is going to be down Blake Jarwin and later at this point. So just based on my rules, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Blake Jarwin here. And so that's our 10th round pick. And again, he was a great choice in the 10th round. 80 Vork points. That's an extremely good score. And I have him valued right now as about the tight end 10, and I think the upside is there. You know, that offense, 120 targets went to tight ends last year, and Jason Witten's gone. So Blake Jarwin's going to get most of that. So that's good enough for me. That's what I want to see. Now, if we look at the next round, not great options for tight ends. If we look at running backs, let's see what's going on here. Running backs, we got guys like Boston Scott, Alexander Madison. Those might be worth looking at. Marlon Mack is, not great value. Wide receivers, we really don't need any more wide receivers. Alan Lazard, Jalen Reagor. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to just start stacking up on running backs. So, look at this. We got Sony Michel and Boston Scott. I do love Boston Scott, but I think I might try to get, there's Carlos Hyde. There's A.J. Dillon. Okay, so let's get ourselves some running backs. I'm going to start with Boston Scott because I really, really like what's going on in that backfield, and hopefully they don't pick up Leonard Fournette. That's the thing. Sonny Michel went. That's too bad. Is Damian Harris still on the board, or is he gone? He might already be gone. Yeah, I am not seeing him. All right, so we're just going to load up. A.J. Dillon might be worth something here. Carlos Hyde, I think, is a good choice as a backup for Chris Carson. Joshua Kelly's one that I like. Jerick McKinnon is one that I like. I don't need to take him now, though. Let's go. Who do I want? Let's take a high upside rookie. Let's take A.J. Dillon. You know, if anything happens to Aaron Jones, you know, we'll be golden with that pick. That'll be a great pick. So we'll take him, and then who do we want next? So let's go. Carlos Hyde still on the board. I do like Carlos Hyde, and maybe we could grab Jerick McKinnon on the next round. And it is 17 picks. Oof, this is tough. What does my app say? Would Jerick McKinnon make it to our 14th round pick? Let's take a look. Running backs. Where's Joe? Actually, Jerick McKinnon might be. Where the heck is he? Is he in the 15th round? Okay, it's saying he should probably make it. So let's go ahead. I want to take Carlos Hyde. We'll take Carlos, and then we'll see. No, of course he got taken. Darn it! Oh well. All right, how's our roster doing right now? We're doing pretty good on the roster. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 7 rounds to go. I just took 3 running backs in a row. Too bad I missed on Jerick. That stinks. But I'm glad I got Carlos Hyde. Let's see here. There's Benny Snell, who I like. Bryce Love, maybe. And we don't really need any wide receivers. We're really well set with wide receivers. What does it say for tight ends in the, where are we, the 14th round? Yeah, we're in the 14th round. Let's go to 14. Look at the tight ends. Sternberger, Olsen, Everett. Everett's a reach. Let's maybe target Everett on the next round. And see, O.J. Howard is listed here as being a 13th round pick. He's one that I very much like also, just to get a piece of that Tampa Bay offense late, and the upside is potential. There's a potential. I'm trying to keep it realistic, but again, if we're looking at the list, O.J. Howard's here, and then down below that, so there's Everett, there's Sternberger, Rudolph, Dawson Knox. Not really anybody here that I'm kind of crazy about. Let's keep with the let's just keep grabbing running backs here. So I know this is a reach for Bryce Love, but I don't want to miss on him. But it's the short turn. Let's go ahead. I could take another rookie. I could take Darrington Evans. That might be, he's kind of taken over the Dion Lewis role. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to take Darrington Evans. Just going to give it a try. Poor man's Alvin Kamara. That's what they're calling him. That's good enough for me. And then I think I saw Snell made it. So let's go ahead. We'll take Snell. So, okay, we've gotten 5 running backs in a row, but I think that's good. These are good complementary backs to the guys we got starting. And now I want to get myself another quarterback and another tight end. So let's see here. If we are in the 16th round, what tight ends would be available? Ooh, it's probably not going to be much. I mean, there's Disley in the 17th. Oh, it's very barren here. Who was in the 15th? Olsen, Everett. Let's just say Everett made it to us. And I actually kind of like Everett as a super late round flyer. Where is Everett? There he is. So I'll take Everett. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, I'm just going to pause for a second. All right, so I don't know what happened there. I think there was just a little hiccup in the internet there. So I did take Everett as my second tight end. And now let's go ahead and take a quarterback. We're going to take our quarterback too. Gardner Minshew was a guy that I was like, oh yeah, that's my go-to guy. I'll take him now. But I'm just not thrilled with the Jacksonville offense. I think they're going to have to throw a lot, so that's good. It's good for volume. And there's no volume in Cousins or Garoppolo, no volume in Rivers, Bridgewater. See, none of these guys have any volume. And then the rest of the guys are just kind of blah. So I think I'm just going to stick with Gardner. I think it's a decent choice. And again, it's just a 2. We've got Russell Wilson. I'm never going to bench Russell Wilson unless it's his bye week. So, that's all we got there. So we'll take that. And I want to close out with 2 defenses and a kicker. So let's see who's available. All right, so defenses, we've got, the Saints, the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Rams, and the Eagles. So, and this is the short turn. So I'm comfortable. The Eagles are my go-to. That's my go-to defense. So let's go ahead. Let's grab ourselves an awesome kicker. We'll take Butker here. And then I'll take the Eagles, and then I'll grab myself one more defense with the final 2 picks. This went very well, man. I got to say, I'm pretty happy with this team. We'll see what Fantasy Pros thinks. They'll probably give me a D. I'll be like, what are you even talking about, Fantasy Pros? This draft went just about perfect for me. I'm super happy with it. And then one more defense. Let's take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because, again, I love that team. I think they're going to be really, really good. Better than most people expect, man. Super Bowl caliber team. All right, let's see what we got. B. That's very average. I'm kind of surprised at that. I mean, look at how good this team is. Look, first of all, running backs. Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, and Todd Gurley. That is a killer trifecta of running backs. And then my wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, and Jarvis Landry, rock solid players all around. I got a nice 1, and I got 2 really good 2s with upside. And I also have DK Metcalf paired with Russell Wilson, so that's excellent. We got Blake Jarwin as our tight end. Obviously, he's like a tight end 10 or 11. We'll see. And then we got Butker and the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't like it when I take the Philadelphia Eagles for some reason, even though their early season schedule is excellent. It starts with a road game in Washington, then they get a home game against the Rams, and then they go play Cincinnati. It's going to be great. They're going to do really, really good. On my bench, here's who I got: Sterling Shepard, Preston Williams, Boston Scott, A.J. Dillon, Carlos Hyde, Darrington Evans, Benny Snell, Gerald Everett, who's my tight end 2, Gardner Minshew, my quarterback 2, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know what's not to like about this team. That is a great lineup. So, Fantasy Pros, I disagree with your assessment. This draft went extremely well, I thought. So anyway, there you go. There it is. So thank you very much for watching. And I've got this draft happening next week. I'm feeling really good about it. I mean, if it goes like that, I'll be like ecstatic. I'll be super happy. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you're in the FFPC, tell me about it, man. Tell me what works for you. I mean, I love to hear from other players in the league to find out what their strategies are and stuff like that and try them out. But I got to say, I love my top 50 Dominator strategy. I love the fact that I'm getting 6 top 50 value players in every single draft I'm doing. It's almost hard to miss. And even if I do miss on the 6th pick, I'll still get a guy with like 51, 52, 53 value rank. So, you're close enough that I figure you did it anyway if that happens. So, but anyway, thanks again for watching. Happy drafting, everybody. Keep up those mocks, and I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll do another one. There you go.